All right, good afternoon and welcome everybody. Before we get too far, let's just do a audio check, video slide check, make sure you can see and hear us. If you don't mind, there's a little question box there. If you click on that, just type a Y in that question box and send it, and then we'll know that audio and video is working. Looks good, looks good. Okay. All right, perfect. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for a very special live session presented by FFR Trading and Wendy Kirkland. My name is John Madison. I'll be your host today. Before we begin, just a couple of quick housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded. I had a number of questions about that, so it is being recorded. You can use that Q&A box to submit questions. We'll have a full-blown Q&A session when Wendy's done with her presentation, so it's okay to hold your questions till then, that's fine. This session is for educational purposes only, and we'll review the risk disclosures shortly here. Today's presentation introduces Wendy's newest framework called DNA. That stands for Decisive Next Action. It's a decision-based options process that Wendy built for her own internal trading and is now she's now sharing publicly for the first time. All right, you should see that risk disclosure. So let's cover some important details here. As you know, trading stocks, futures, options, currencies involves risk, substantial risk, and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. No trading system guarantees profits or eliminates risk. So please review the full disclosure on the screen now. And with that said, let's move forward. For those of you that are new to FFR Trading, here's who we are. We were established in 2006. You can see we've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, a 4.8 star Google rating. We are the official support office for Wendy Kirkland's trading programs. Our role is simple. We verify, we support and educate traders using proven systems, not hype. We partner with only experienced traders and provide education, guidance, and live support to help individual investors trade with clarity and discipline. And get more information at our website, ffrtrading.com, and you can review our 8-step certification process. That's the process that we put traders through to qualify them to be able to provide their services to our clients here at FFR. All right, let me introduce our featured trader today. That is Wendy Kirkland. Wendy's story is unique. She didn't come from Wall Street. You know, some of you are familiar with some of our other traders that we work with, excuse me, that were institutional side traders. Wendy did not work for a big bank. She didn't manage institutional money. She began her trading over 17 years ago now, I believe, after losing her family business in Asheville, North Carolina, due to catastrophic flooding. But through persistence, pattern recognition, thousands of hours of chart study, she developed an options-based approach built around structure, timing, and probability. Her artistic background, and this is unique to Wendy, allowed her to recognize certain patterns that most traders don't see, and more importantly, to teach them in a way everyday traders can understand. And I think that's one of Wendy's great strengths. Those of you that work with Wendy, all right, know this. Now, she trades primarily put and call options, and she's known for her ability to identify high probability turning points with remarkable consistency. So Wendy, welcome, and thank you for being here.
I'm so excited to be here and so excited to share this new program. It's something new for me in that it has never been shared before. It's been very successful.
And let's talk about that a little bit, Wendy, because this program is totally unique. It's like nothing you've ever offered before.
Exactly.
And to give folks kind of an idea of what Wendy's going to get into in more detail here in just a minute here. one of the big problems is, most traders don't fail because they lack information. Today, there's no end to the amount of information out there. They're failing because they have too much of it. And you become overwhelmed by, endless indicators, conflicting signals, constant opinions, emotional second guessing, right? This leads to hesitation, missed trades, over trading, frustration. All right. That's the problem. That's exactly why you were led to build the DNA program, this decisive next action program, to kind of, eliminate all that distraction, if you will. So DNA, again, does stand for decisive next action. It's not about trading more. It's about knowing when to act and when not to act. So DNA is a private proprietary market scanning framework that Wendy uses internally. It evaluates market structure, volatility shifts, momentum inflections, pattern recognition, AI-driven trade qualification criteria, right? All built into that. And only when all the criteria aligns does DNA flag a potential opportunity, but it's not done yet. Because even then, Wendy's going to personally validate every setup before acting and sending out signals, right? So that's kind of the process in a nutshell, but Wendy's going to go into much more detail. So it's not a black box, it's not a prediction engine, it's not a trade everything system, it's a decision filter. It removes the noise, it reduces stress, it's going to force discipline. So let me, Wendy, if you're ready.
Okay, yes, I'm ready.
Okay, hopefully I set you up as you go into more detail on this. So Wendy's going to do a deeper dive into the program and some recent examples. Right. When she's done, we'll have a Q&A session. Right. So you can post your questions when she's done. We'll get to those, as many as we can. And then we'll go into the program and all the details of the program and what we have to offer you today. So Wendy, I'll go ahead and switch over to you.
Okay.
Make you the presenter here. You should get a little pop-up on your end.
All right, I'm seeing it. Then we'll make this a full slideshow screen. There we go.
Perfect. Looks good here.
All right, awesome. Well, this is just a quick little image of what we're going to be discussing today. And as it has been said, this is something that is brand new. I've been using it, but it's brand new being shared. And it is a program that makes things so clear. I'm so excited to show this, that this is what my charts used to look like. And this is what I have been teaching and trading for about 20 years. The P3 and P3.5 patterns. That's what I'm known for. And this is something that is brand new, so exciting that, let me get this next slide here. There we go. The P3 patterns and P3.5 patterns, they, in a sense, created a life cycle. And it zeroed in on equities and ETFs and took it through these stages. Well, this is different. This has been fine-tuned. So it trades or focuses on high ATR equities and ETFs. It zeroes in many times on the strength stages, but the program figures that out for you. So this is what a chart looks like. It shades areas, and in a sense, what you are going to be zeroing in on is, and what the trade service zeroes in on, I could start over here. It's when the green line here, this is calls, starts heading up. Over here, you can see that it turned yellow and headed down. Over here, it's red and heading up. This is where you would get in, not during this period when it is yellow, or even here where it was green. You know, the back bar here was green, but it was yellow. You can see that went kind of flat and then it dropped. And here, then the red line is rising, showing there is strength. And that is when it dropped here. So it makes it so easy. So this is advanced micro devices. And this is a bigger image for you to be able to see. And down here on the screen, you can see that the green bar here starts heading up. When it does, that is when this green box starts forming. So here it gapped up and it rose and it rose. And then here it turns yellow. And that is, in a sense, where a trade would be closed if it was not closed earlier, just taking profit. And that is something, as far as me personally sharing with you, that if you had gotten in here and it gapped up and then started kind of going flat, you could take profit anywhere along here. But the box and the lines here show you when there is that bullish momentum carrying it up, and then here it starts, it loses it and goes into a bearish period. You can see this stays yellow, yellow, yellow. It is not rising and showing that price is dropping with strength. Here is where it starts. It turns red and starts rising, strength, strength, showing that it is dropping. Same over here, turning red. This little green area does not have a green line there to show you there is any strength behind it. So it doesn't take a whole lot of understanding to get the gist of how this all works. This is General Mills. You can see here is a red bar rising, and then it ends and goes yellow. Here it takes a little while for the momentum to start. You can see here it didn't happen. It had this little pullback. And this is what is calculated behind to show you that this is where it rose, headed up. Then some of the momentum was lost again. There was some selling, there was some swings, there was some manipulation, and then it started up again and rose another time. And the same is here where it drops with strength. Then there's a period here where that drop kind of loses momentum and it goes sideways, and then it drops again. This is Meta platforms. Again, you can see kind of rises here, and no strength, little period here where it drops, then major upswing. Again, yellow, started dropping, but there was not a lot of momentum behind it. And then here is when the real drop started. So I think this one, Seagate is another. This had an unbelievable nice move up. So just starting back at the beginning here, you can see that it had this little rise and then it had a drop down. You can see this is where the line's headed up, another drop down, all very obvious. And then here, green line up and up and up and up for a long period of time. So the Seagate technology trades, there could have been 3 of them in that period of time. And had you bought an 85 call trade and bought the expiration of 6/12, and you would have done that on 4/24 and paid $5, and let's say you bought 2 contracts, that would have been $1,000, and sold it then on 5/20 for $2,350. That's $4,700 less the $1,000 that you paid up here. That's $3,700 or 370%. Then let's say you did a second trade during that long period of time. You bought the 115 call trade entry for the expiration of 6/20. You're in on 5/20. You paid $5.35 times 2 contracts so that you're right in that kind of $1,000 range. You sold on 6/10 for $13.80. So that's $2,760 less the $1,070 that you paid. That's $1,668 or 157.9% in 11 days. Then there could have been one more. You bought the 130 call entry and bought the expiration of 7/18, and you got in on 6/20 for $4.90 times 2 contracts. That's $980. Sold on 7/8 for $1,550. That's $3,100 less than $980 that you paid to purchase it. That's $2,120 or 216% in 18 days. So that is an example. I could, I went to the next one. Let me go back. Right here. We're talking about this period right in here. That is amazing to sit and think that you could have made that kind of profit buying stocks that were out about a month or 6 weeks and just done it over and over again. All right, let's look at a couple more. So this is Delta Airlines. You can see here that there was a couple drop periods. Again, you can see the strength line rising. It is just very, very clear and understandable right here. So Delta Airlines, if you had selected the 50 strike call with the 12/20 expiration date and entered on 10/11 for $4.15, and you purchased 3 contracts or $1,245, and you closed on 11/19 for $15 or $4,500 less the $1,245, that's profit of $3,255 or 261%. That is amazing, and the charts are so easy to read and so clear. This is Tyson Foods, and this is a potential put trade. So you can see with the box that there's this drop and there's this drop. Here's Dollar Tree. Again, we're talking put trade, so you can see that there is this drop. And again, the drops that happen, yes, it started dropping a little bit here, but it did not have the momentum, the security of knowing that, yes, this is not being, what am I trying to say, manipulated. And here it looked like it was going up a little bit. Here it went gap down and then looked like it was rising. This is showing you that the strength started here and continued on to this point. All right, so here's Dollar Tree. This is the put trade results. And we'll say that purchase the 100 strike put with the 10/17/25 expiration on 9/4 for $4.39, and you select and purchase 2 contracts for $878. You close on 10/10 for $11.95, or $2,390 for the two contracts. That is a profit of $1,512. So over that 36-day period, the profit was 172%. That is just terrific. So here is General Mills, GIS. Again, potential put trade. So for General Mills, there was several trades that were possible. On 9/30, you could have purchased the 75 strike put for with an expiration of 10/18 and bought 5 contracts for $230 or $1,150. Sold on 10/15 for $410 or $2,050 for the 5 contracts for a gain of $900 or 78%. Then there was some little swings, and on 10/13 perhaps you bought the 70 strike put with the expiration of 11/15, and you bought 7 contracts for $1.85 or $1,295, and you sold on 10/30 just a week later for $1.95. That's not very much, or $1,365 for the 7 contracts. That means you gained only $70, but it was 5%. And after a day or so, things shifted again, and on 11/16, you purchased the 70 strike put, expiration 11/15, bought 3 contracts for $380 for $1,140, and you sold on the 15th for $7.50 or $22.50 for the 3 contracts. That's $1,140. That is 97% gain in that short period of time. So that the charts kind of, they get you going, and if something underneath the volume and so on shifts, you can close a trade, then you can get in again, and perhaps you just make a small amount, and then it develops again and you get in and it's a huge amount. So the services come with a book that discusses the chart images and clear explanations that cover the description of the charts, the indicators, and how to implement the trades. And the service itself sends you an email with potential trade details, the symbol, the strike price, the potential entry profit, and the expiration date to select. Then when it's time to close, if you have not closed for your own purposes, saying, ooh, I earned 75%, I'm going to go ahead and take it. The service will send you a trade when the pattern changes and ends. So my overall goal is to help you earn additional income, but to also teach you how to read the charts and learn how to profit from these trades on your own. This service not only comes with an email potential trade information, but it also comes with the manuscript that teaches you how to trade and read the charts, as well as a daily recap at the close of the trade day and in the early evening, sharing what took place in the market, and also lists any open and closed trades to keep you informed and updated. So it's up to you that What's your decisive next action going to be? And that's kind of it for me. And I'm ready for any kind of questions.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Wendy. I'm excited. I trade mainly futures, but to see this indicator, I think I'm going to have to get this from you because this would go a long way to helping my option trades. So guys, yes, if you have questions for Wendy, go ahead and post them there in the question box, and I'll field them for her and see if we can get them answered. So let me start going through some of these here. James wants to know, how do you know what option to buy?
Well, the book kind of covers that, but usually these are not set up as like day trades or whatever. That I usually suggest you buy out about a month, sometimes 6 weeks, giving it time to develop because you don't know how long the trade period will last. And usually buy, I would say, at the money or just slightly out of the money. And again, the book covers all of that information.
Okay, perfect. And Charlie was asking, what is the win-loss ratio and how many trades, weekly or monthly? So Charlie, we're going to get into that after the Q&A. I'll show you the trade record, so you can go through that. You can always call in and they'll give you the full trade record, all the trades and everything. We'll take a look at that in just a minute after we get done with the Q&A here. The trades weekly, I believe it's a little over 2 trades per week is what it amounts to. Is that accurate, Wendy?
That's about right. Sometimes there's 3. There has been, but usually it's about 2 usually.
And Denny wants to know, do you do any personal training? So how does the service work?
Well, one of the things that I believe that you're going to get with this is the sessions that I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which are just kind of general option trading sessions. They do not really go into the DNA indicator because that is special. That is what you are getting. It's not something that's out available to the public. But I do the sessions that teach about option trading during the week, and I think that is something that comes with this program. And then like I said, I write about it a little bit in the afternoon when I send the recaps out.
And they'll get some educational material on the methodology.
Yes. Oh, yes,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So all that will be in there, Denny. Charles wants to know, what time frame was the system designed to work best on?
The daily chart.
The daily chart. Right. Perfect. So good question there, Charles. Let's see. Lowell. So stay till the end, Lowell. And so Lowell already has the indicator, and we'll talk about that as we get through the webinar here. You're welcome, Charlie. Let's see. Dennis, yes, this session is being recorded, and we will send that out via email after the webinar. Let's see. Yeah, so David, you want to give us a call on that? Talk to a strategist. They should be able to help you with that. The trading platform, let's see, how do I want to put this? Sam was asking what software is used. These indicators were built for TradingView, correct?
That is correct. That
Okay.
is specifically designed and created on TradingView.
Tom wants to know, do you enter on green or red or yellow?
On green or red, rising.
Right. So green would be for a call, and
Right.
red would be for a put.
Right.
So another great thing about the strategy is it it makes money whether the stocks are going up or down. As we see today, stocks were going in the downward direction in a big way. Let's see, Douglas, give us a call on that. Talk to a strategist and they can help you with that. What is the, Lyle wants to know, what is your max stop loss per trade? So talk about maybe the stop loss strategy. In fact, there's a couple of questions regarding that.
And it's an interesting thing, and this is something that I've dealt with over the years with all the different services. It really is, excuse me, a personal choice. Most people are maybe comfortable, or they have it set at, let's just say 30%. When it hits 30%, a loss, I'm done and out, is what they feel like. Other people feel like maybe 40 or 45. A lot of people say 50%, that is the majority. And truthfully, there are a few that say, when I get into a trade, I figure that there's a potential of losing the whole amount, but there's not many of those. That 50% usually is the bottom line for the majority of people, but you can select what's right for you.
And Sam asks, do you notify us on any stop loss? So this is an important question because yes, not only they get the alert for the entry, they also get an alert as to when to get out from you, correct?
Right.
So you'll always, if you have the DNA service, you will get notified not just on the entries, but all the exits, right? So Wendy will take care of that for you. All right, let's see. Let me pick up any last questions here. So hopefully that answers the questions regarding stop losses there, because there were about 3 or 4 of those. So everybody kind of thinking alike there. All right. What I'm going to do, guys, if you have more questions, don't worry, you can post them. I'm going to move forward here and then get into kind of the rest of the information. Some of the questions that you had will be answered in this next part here. And those of you that are already dealing with Wendy, or have questions regarding the program or the indicator and so forth, just call us at FFR. I'll post the number here in a bit, but it's 800-883-0524, and a strategist can help you with that. So let me go ahead and take back control here, Wendy, and
okay,
and get my slide back up here.
There we are.
Okay. All right. You should be able to see the slide here, Options Mastery Institute. All right. So DNA is part of your overall program. And these are all the things. Each point is what comes with the service. So somebody had those questions. So you will get a direct email from Wendy with all the details. This is a welcome email you'll get initially with all the details about the program, all the links to download all your educational material. Right, so that's when you subscribe, you'll receive the welcome email, and you'll get direct alerts to your email or cell phone. That's with the trade alerts. That's when to enter, what option to buy, and then an email or a cell phone alert when to exit. Right, so that will be all included there. You get access to Wendy and her support team. She's got a great support team. Any educated questions that you have regarding the markets, the methodology. And again, you do get all the educational material on the methodology, describing the entry rules, the exit rules, pertaining to the indicator as well. A newsletter is emailed weekly from Wendy's team. You'll have access to that. You'll have access to Wendy's digital trade planning manual. And the service Wendy was talking about earlier, it's called Lunch with Wendy. Those sessions are on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those are recorded as well, so you can watch at your convenience. I should probably turn my camera back on here so you guys can see me. So you get those Lunch with Wendy sessions. You also get access to third-party registered brokers. All right, this is an option for those of you that don't have time to execute these trades on your own, and you want a registered third-party broker to execute these trades on your behalf in your own account. All right, so that is available. So don't worry if you don't have the time to be there, you work or whatever. All right, this can be done for you. And then you do get access to us here at FFR Trading. So our strategists are here to help you, to guide you through step by step to find programs and strategies that fit your goals, your risk tolerance, right? So that's there, to keep you on track to reach those goals as well. All right, so let's get into some of the academic details. Some of this is some of the questions you guys were asking about. This is dealing with primarily puts and calls. You're either buying a call or buying a put and then closing those positions out, so bullish and bearish. Options on stocks, and you did say ETFs as well, correct, Wendy?
On occasion, yes.
Yeah. The decisive next action protocol, it's an AI-driven trade qualification criteria. All right, so that is built into that indicator that you're seeing. It averages, another question, averages 2.3 trades per week. Like Wendy said, sometimes it'll be 3 trades, depending on what's going on in the markets. Expecting the markets, probably the volatility is going to pick up here. We're waiting on a decision from the Supreme Court about the tariffs. Who knows what that's going to, the outcome of that's going to be. And, the whole market could have to be repriced. So expect the volatility. And that's the great thing with partnering with Wendy. She's been through this before, right? She's been through the ups and downs in the markets over decades now, and she can help you through that. The account size suggested $10,000 minimum. They're going to allocate approximately $1,000 to $1,200 per trade, right? Obviously, your risk tolerance, if you don't want to risk $1,000 to $1,200, you can do half that, whatever your risk tolerance allows. All right, so the performance stats, and these numbers are going to blow you away. They blew me away. The monthly average, it's averaging 79% per month. Okay, the annual average return is 954%. It's winning 80% of the trades. Makes it very easy to follow when you have that many winners, right, versus losses. But here's the kicker. The average winner is $1,132. The average loss, just $614. Right? That is a profit factor of 7.53. So for every dollar at risk, it's generating $7.53 in profit. It's phenomenal. Average days per trade, in other words, how long are the trades? How long do they last? About 19.5 days on average. All right, so that probably answers a lot of the questions. You can always call in and they can show you the full details. In fact, I think I've got the snapshot. This is the last 14 days of trades from the service. All right, and you can see the stocks that are involved. You got BABA, Riot, Wells Fargo, Intel, right? Big name companies, Starbucks, Carnival Cruise, ExxonMobil, Tyson Foods. I think Wendy showed you that trade. AMD. All right, so these are all the wins and losses. This goes back to November. All right, so basically 2.5 months of data now, so not even a full quarter. But the profits, if I can kind of highlight this here. Right here, so a $28 profit. You got $1,600 profit here, $405 loss. You see there are losing trades. All right, but comes right back with a $1,500 win, a $646 profit, $678 profit, $574 loss, a little over $1,000 profit here. Okay, so you can go through the wins and losses, and again, they can show you when you call in the full, all the trades going back to inception. All right. Wendy's big on the Learn and Earn program, right? And Wendy, you can probably speak to this, but you're not just looking to hand people a fish every day. You're going to start them off that way, but the goal ultimately is that they can fish for themselves. Is that would that be accurate?
That is totally accurate. That since I first started trading, and that's part of the reason I'm here, is the fact that I want to share and teach.
And you've had a lot of success. We've heard from a lot of clients. In fact, we just heard from before the webinar today, one of our strategists contacted me, Brian, and let me know that one of his clients, Richard G, subscribed to your service back on December 10th to DNA, and he said he's made between 50 to 100% on every single trade since. And this is just, like I said, this is just somebody that we spoke to just recently here before the webinar. What are we looking for? What is Wendy looking for? Again, provide us with your story. How did you find Wendy? How did you get started? What were you doing before where you were not having success or limited success? So provide us with your story. The next thing we want is your brokerage statements. Why do we want your brokerage statements? Because you're going to commit to a quarterly meeting, and we're going to go sit down with a strategist virtually, obviously, and they're going to go through your statements, and they're going to figure out, are you on track to meet your goals? If not, are there any adjustments that need to be made to get you back on track? All right, that's where we come in and help you. If you're happy, you're satisfied, provide us with a testimonial, and we'll see some of those here. And then obviously we always love referrals. Okay. If you look at some of the testimonials, these are testimonials for clients of FFR Trading. These are some more here, and these are specific to Wendy. All right. So Walter, he's out in your neck of the woods, Wendy, out there in North Carolina. He said he's grown his account from 15,000 to 40,000. That's an increase of 175% in just 8 months. All right, phenomenal numbers. This is Dr. D, a long-term client here at FFR. He said he was basically wandering the desert, the investment desert for 20 years. But he said he could not be more impressed and happier with his results. All right, that's Dr. D. All right, so what do we have for you today? And I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I want to get my hands on this Wendy as well. This is what we have for you. For the first 10 members only, if you subscribe today to one of Wendy's DNA program, you're going to subscribe to a year's worth of service. We're going to give you an additional year of service for free. Not only that, but Wendy is throwing in that DNA indicator. Right? How would you like to have that? It's for TradingView. Right? You can use, I'm guessing you probably use the free version of TradingView. If you have to pay for it, it's like $10 or $12 a month. But it's well worth it. Okay. That DNA indicator sits on TradingView, and you see when to buy, when to get out, when to stay out, all that right in that DNA indicator. You can read the charts for yourself. That's for the first 10 members only. Okay. What you have to do, we don't just sell this indicator online. There's a reason for that, because we need to speak to you. We have to make sure this is a good fit for you. Right? Because you have a certain risk tolerance, you have certain capital that you're trading. We have to make sure that this fits your risk tolerance and your goals. Okay. If it doesn't, we will not put you in this. If it does, we're happy to do that. Right. But you got to call us. Right. And you can call us. That's the 800-883-0524. Right. You can start calling now. That's fine. We'll have people on staff that'll be answering those calls for you and get you to our strategists. There's no obligation. Okay. They're just going to show you the program, answer all your questions, so you can make an informed decision if this is something that you want to move forward with. Outside the US, you can also use this as the 737-292-4425 number. All right. Or if you need to, you can use the support at ffrtrading.com. Right, and the strategist will get back to you as soon as possible. So you can start calling those numbers. Again, this is just for the first 10. You got to make sure you call us if you want that DNA indicator, which I do want, and I'm sure you do too, and then get an additional year of service for free. All right, but again, you got to call us. We do need to speak to you. Now think about, and Wendy, maybe you can speak about this as well. Think about your results currently. Maybe you're somebody that's been trying to trade yourself, not having success, which is about 95 to 99% of the retail crowd out there. What would it like to be like to have Wendy in your corner, right? Have an indicator like DNA telling you when to be in and when to be out. And then the full-blown service where Wendy's picking the trades for you and telling you when to get in and when to get out, and eliminating any thought process. Your job is basically to execute the trades. Okay, what would this do to your IRA? Maybe your IRA has been floundering. Maybe you're in mutual funds, only make money when the market goes up. This program is geared to make money. It doesn't matter if stuff is going up or down, which is great because you need to make money when stuff goes down. Because as a day like today, you see stuff doesn't always go up. Okay. Wendy, anything that you want to add while we start to wrap up here?
I guess just to reshare that this probably is the, I don't know if I say simple, but clearest trading program that I have ever done. Instead of teaching to read charts where you have to learn to read this indicator and that indicator and this one flows and that, they create a pattern. It is just obvious because it shows you that the green line is rising or the red line is rising, that there is strength there. It is easy to read and obvious. So I'm just beyond excited to have created this and to be making it available. It is so simple.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Charles was just asked a follow-up question. What do you call the line that turns yellow, red, and green? Is there a name for that?
Well, there isn't. I think of the yellow line as a caution line in a sense. It's like the red line, of course, is suggesting that when it's rising, you're getting into a put. A green line is telling you to get in, consider a call. But the yellow line to me is the caution line. Things are changing. Things are weakening. A shift is happening, and so I guess I just think of it as caution.
Gord was just asking about the statistics. Just give us a call at the 800 number there, Gord, and strategist will share all the stats going back to inception with you. They're phenomenal. So definitely give us a call. No obligation. Bob, just give us a call. We need to talk to you before we talk about pricing and all that because, again, we got to make sure it's a good fit for you. So give us a call. Again, 800-883-0524 or the 737-292-4425. If you're outside the U.S., we got a number of people on the webinar here that are outside the U.S. And be one of the first 10. These are going to go fast. We had Wendy on a month ago with one of our other programs and sold out very quickly. So the spots are limited. We can only have so many, Wendy's support staff is only so big. She can only support so many people at a time before she, shuts things down. And then you'd have to wait till the next period where they reopen the program and so on. So get in now, get the indicator, start getting the trade setups and start winning now. All right. Again, we're going to go into some really high volatility here, especially probably in the next few days to weeks with all this tariff stuff again. And you want to be on the right side of that, right? Because things can get really crazy when the market starts getting repriced, if it does. Again, first 10 members, give us a call, 800-883-0524, or outside the U.S., the 737-292-4425 number. And again, you can just call. It's no obligation. They'll just answer your questions. And again, they'll let you know if it's a good fit for you or not. Yes, Michael, the recording will go out after the webinar and then again over the next couple of days. So you'll have a chance to review it again. All right, guys. So Wendy, anything else that you want to add before we just say our last words here?
I just am excited to be sharing this. It is, in a sense, a dream come true for me. And I just appreciate you, John. This has been awesome. And I look forward to sharing.
Absolutely. And it's always a pleasure to work with you, Wendy. And I'm really excited about this program. Like I said, I'm going to have to try to get my hands on this. Everyone out there, thank you for spending time with us today. If you're looking for clarity, looking for discipline, a structured decision process, DNA was built exactly for that. It was built for you. Right? If you'd like to learn more, speak with our team. Again, call us at that 800-883-0524 number or 737-292-4425. support@ffrtrading.com is the email. All right, everybody, have a great day, trade well, and we'll see you back next month.
Bye now.